Hello and welcome to my Scurrius the Rat King boss guide. Scurrius is a mid-level monster residing in the Varrock sewers. As a mid-level boss meant for players with a combat level of 60 to 90, Scurrius is meant to introduce various mechanics that are present in higher level play, such as switching protection prayers quickly during combat, as well as dodging attacks, and managing multiple monsters mid-fight. Scurrius can be fought in either a public room or an instance room. It has two distinct stats if the player is fighting it in a public or an instance room. The public variant of Scurrius is slightly stronger than the instance version. The instance version has 500 HP, whereas the public room has 1500 HP, and the public room players only receive rare drops if they are the MVP. Scurrius rewards a substantially greater amount of combat experience than normal, especially with rat bone weapons, giving a competitive amount of experience compared to Nightmare Zone and Sand Crabs. This boss is also more interactive, which makes things more fun than just AFKing for 10 to 15 minutes while using other training methods. Let's talk about Scurrius's combat stats. So in the instance version, which most people are going to be using in order to get rare drops, as well as the pet. I know a lot of people want the pet. He's going to have 500 health. Defensive stats, let's just skip right to that, because we're going to go over how to counteract his offensive stats essentially, so he doesn't do much damage to it all later on. But his defensive stats very low, 20s in everything except magic, which is plus 10. Doesn't make a huge difference. Any combat style of training here is viable. Okay, let's talk about Scurrius's spine, which is an uncommon drop from Scurrius. That being said, it has a 1 in 33 drop rate, so not too rare. It can be combined with various weapons to create rat bone weapons. There are 3 different types of rat bone weapons, which include the bone mace, the bone shortbow, and the bone staff. These rat weapons enhance the player's damage output by an impressive 10 points, making them the best in case for training here in most slots. Excess spines, by the way, can be given to the historian Aldo outside the boss's lair in exchange for an antique lamp, giving experience in either attack, strength, defense, hit points, magic, ranged, or prayer. Scurrius has 3 attacks. His melee attack is with his tail, he has a magic attack with blue lightning being discharged, and a ranged attack of stinky furballs being thrown at players. The fight is split into 3 phases. Scurrius may heal from the food piles, and he heals in between 5 to 10 health, I believe, between each phase. Scurrius may also summon 6 giant rats to aid him during the fight, which can be one-shot using any combat style. Scurrius also has one last attack shown here where he throws debris at you from the ceiling, creating a shadow on the floor which you have to avoid unless you will take up to a maximum of, I believe, 21 damage. Okay, let's briefly talk about gear setups, right? I'm not going to dive into every possible scenario of where you might be at in the game and what gear you have available to you. You need to be wearing the best in-slot gear for mage, range, or attack combat styles in order to do the most DPS for this boss. This is going to vary. Okay, let's go over the loot table now. So you have a 1 in 16 chance of him dropping an adamant plate body, rune med helm, rune full helm, rune square shield, rune chain body, or a rune battle axe. He also has the possibility of dropping some different arrows and runes, for the most part, not too big. He also has a chance of dropping food, which is nice, and prayer potions, which is nice because it gives you an opportunity to heal yourself and restore your prayer. And then we get to the good stuff, in my opinion, which is the pet, which is a 1 in 3,000 drop rate, which I am still trying for, by the way. And also something, 1 in 25 chance of dropping medium clue scrolls. I know a lot of people, Iron Man and stuff, like to grind that stuff, so that is a very good drop rate for clue scrolls while you're doing a boss on the side. Okay, guys, so let's hop right into a live action of me actually doing this boss while I'm talking to you guys here. So I'm on my max 75 attack pyramid, pretty much max mage bonus for a pure. I have the volatile nightmare staff. I don't even know if that speeds up the kills or not, to be honest, because sometimes it splashes and sometimes it hits a 76 and there's no telling if it's going to be like, just, yep, that wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? I could have got 2 hits off with the bone staff there instead, but whatever. So as you see, he's doing that debris launch from the ceiling that you need to dodge it. If you stand underneath that shadow, you are going to take a good chunk of damage there. So I usually keep my protect melee on for that stage, just because it's kind of, you don't really know if he's gonna use a melee or if he's gonna launch another debris attack. He just spawned the rats. Now if you have this bone weaponry here, you see how fast I just killed all of them? You can literally one tick each of those rats. to make that go by really fast. And if you don't, you could use a Venator bow, but that costs like 60 mil. Not everybody has access to that, so you might just want to bring some very inexpensive darts to kill those rats. So as you can see here, I'm going to be prayer flicking for the most part, just to reduce the amount of prayer that I am using during this fight. Because you want to do that. You want to be able to keep as much your prayer as high as possible in order to stay at this boss as long as possible, right? To gain more XP, more kills per hour for whatever the reason is that you're here. So you're going to see me prayer flicking, right? Which is essentially I am clicking on the designated prayer that I need to right as that ability is almost hitting me. So yeah, just flick protect from magic, and then you just press it, click it again, and it goes off. So you're really not using any of your prayer to avoid his attacks. He just spawned the rats again, so we're going to try to one-tick them, and at the same time we are prayer flicking here. The rats can hit through your prayer, unfortunately, but it's only like ones, and I believe if you don't have your prayer on, they can hit like fours, so that is probably the main source of damage that I take is from these rats, unfortunately. Okay guys, so the main source of damage from this boss is just going to be those little rats that he spawns, because you can't stop the damage that they're doing essentially, even when you have Protect Melee on. And that is if you have your prayer flicks down. This boss is going to teach you how to prayer flick, and if you don't, you are going to get damaged, and you are going to need to get better, get good. No, I'm kidding, but yeah, so other than that, I think that pretty much wraps this all up. This guy standing to the left of me, by the way, is the guy you need to trade your spines into. He's just right outside the entrance. I don't know if I even showed where he was at, but let me know where you guys are at. Let me know what questions you have. Let me know if any of you guys have gotten the pet. That is what my goal is. Obviously, I'm max, so I'm not doing this to train. I'm just doing this, hoping that I can get a pet. I think I'm at like 1300 KC. I'm kind of enjoying this, to be honest. It's very chill. I make a little bit of money. I don't have to worry about dying like you're not in the wilderness. So I hope this guide helped you guys out. If it did, please like and subscribe and comment and let me know what you guys thought of the guide. Thank you very much. Have a good one, and peace.